So with all the big streamers coming to Counter-Strike getting into skins, I thought I would be the one to make a detailed, up-to-date skins guide for everybody that is going to need it. So in this video, we're going to be going over the current market of Counter-Strike, how floats work, how patterns work, and the odds of getting your desired skin from a case. So the first topic we're going to be going over is the current market for skins in Counter-Strike and how that affects you reselling your skins. So once upon a time in late October of 2025, Counter-Strike decided to add a new update to the game. This update introduced you being able to upgrade your covert or red skins into knives, which dropped the market by 45%. The reason for this is because knives made up most of the market because of the high quantities and the high prices for every knife. Since then, the market has shot up over $5 billion for Counter-Strike. So here, I'll give you an example. Here we are, we're on the Steam community market. Let's scroll down. This one is a good example. The Starlight Protector. Nobody wanted this skin a year ago, so let's click on it. Let's go to a year. Look at that price increase. So, after the update, the Starlight Protector went from $32 factory new all the way up to over $160 factory new. The reason for this being is that you can then trade up that skin to get a butterfly knife worth thousands of dollars. Now, this update didn't really affect cases, but for example, the Kilowatt case a year ago was 76 cents, and today it's all the way down to 23, which makes this the cheapest case in the game. Now we have the CSGO weapon case, which a lot of you might have heard of already at this point if you've been playing for a few months. Now, about a year ago, this case was $131, and now today, it's all the way up to $181, even reaching up to $260. So, unless you're swimming in money bags, I definitely wouldn't recommend opening that one. There are some good skins in it, however, but your chances of getting them are slim to none. Of course, in this case, you'd be aiming for the AK-47 case hardened, which we'll get into in a minute. So now we're getting into the second topic of the video, which is floats. So floats is a hard thing to understand when you're first getting into skins. Now, when you're looking at a skin, and if you pull it from a case or you're just inspecting it, go down to this little eye at the bottom. It's going to tell you the finish style, finish catalog, pattern template, wear rating, exterior. The main things you need to worry about here are the pattern template, wear rating, and exterior. So as you can tell, the wear rating for my Glock 18 Shinobu is 0.28, which makes it field tested. And this is with any skin, of course. Just inspect a random one, go down to the eye, minimum wear 0.09. So as you can tell, the higher the number is, the worse your condition is going to be. So let's look at my prized possession as a broke YouTuber. Go down to the eye. This one is battle scarred 0.7. 0.7 is very high. That is not something you want to see. So the best exterior condition being factory new, you would need to get a 0.00 to a 0.07. So to get the second best wear being minimal wear, you would need a 0.076 to a 0.15. So now the most common wear being field tested, you would need a 0.15 to a 0.37. So now onto well worn, which is arguably the worst float you can get. So for well worn, you would need a 0.376 to a 0.45. And then to get battle scarred, you would need a 0.456 to a 1.0. Getting a 1.0 float or an all-zero float is almost completely impossible. And if you were to ever pull something like that, you would be a millionaire. Now, the reason I say well-worn is the worst float, even though battle-scarred obviously is that there are good examples of skins being worth more in battle-scarred than even in factory new. The best example of this is the Op Asimov with a full black scope, which goes by the nickname of the Blackamov. Why? I have no idea, but this was discovered in like 2015. So now on to topic 3, which is patterns. Now there are a lot of people who love patterns, one of them being the biggest face of Counter-Strike. So of course people would pay an absurd amount of money to have the coolest looking pattern. So the knife I'm holding here is the most expensive skin ever sold on the Counter-Strike market. This is the Karambit Patterned 387. This was sold for $1.5 million. The reason for this is because it has the most blue on the blade. So if you ever go into an OniPixel stream, you'll always hear him say something about a play side. So what the play side is that's the side that you're seeing while you're running around the game. For example, what we have here. But if you were to flip this over, it's all gold on the backside, which makes the name for it a blue gem. Now this particular one is a tier 1 blue gem, being the best one. Now another example being the Case Hardened AK, this one being pattern 661. Now 661 is one of the most talked about patterns, since this weapon is only available in the weapons case, which is now, as I showed at the beginning of the video, $200. Now the reason that this one is the most expensive one is because it has the most seeable blue. Now this one in factory new has been valued at $1 million, but some in field tested and battle scarred well worn have definitely gone down in price. So this is a tier 1 blue gem. Let me show you what a tier 2 looks like. Now this is a tier 2 blue gem. This is pattern 750. Now I can't find an exact price on this one, but if I had to guess, it would be in the range of $1,000 to $5,000. Now this one right here is a tier 3 blue gem. This is pattern 363. If I had to guess, this one in factory new would probably be around $1,000. There are definitely worse ones and there are better ones. Now this is pattern 784. Pattern 784 being a gold gem. Now gold gems are a lot less price-wise than blue gems, but still more expensive than your average Case Hardened AK. So, maybe by you watching this topic, you've learned a little more on why some people will spend millions of dollars on Counter-Strike skins. I still don't get it. So charms are a very different story. Charms have a pattern template between 1 and 100,000, when any other normal skin only has a pattern template between 1 and 1,000. So, I'm going to give you a visual example of kind of how this works. So let's say you pull a die-cast AK, right? The way Counter-Strike dictates what color it'll be is by placing it on this color gradient. Now, this one's a little cut off, but you'll still get what I mean. So when you pull a charm, Counter-Strike will randomly throw it on this gradient, and depending on which color you get, that's your pattern. And again, there's 100,000 different ones, so almost every single color is available. So pattern 0 through 10,000 will be gold. The one that's the most gold is 876. Pattern templates 10 through 20,000 would be orange. The most orange one being pattern template 17,024. Patterns 20,000 through 24,000 would give you the color red. The most red one being 22,000. Pink is between 24,000 and 35,000. The one that is the most pink is 29,426. Patterns 35,000 through 75,000 would get you violet. The most violet looking one is 70,605. Pattern template 75,000 through 87,000, you would get purple. The most purple one being 84,257. And 87,000 through 100,000 would get you blue. The best blue in my opinion would be 98,667. Now, one thing that you guys probably haven't noticed yet is that to get the red diecast AK, you only have a 1 in 4,000 chance compared to all the other colors. So by that sense, any red AK would be the best one to get. Now, that's my best way to explain how charms work for you guys, and let's get on to topic 4. So now, here in topic 4, we're going to be talking about the odds to get your desired skin that you want out of a case. Now, to no surprise, it's going to be very low, but never impossible. Now, to start off, in any regular case, you have an 80% chance of getting a mil-spec, or specifically 79.92. That comes out to every 1.25 cases you will get a blue. Now to get a purple, it's 15.98%, which means in every 6.3 cases you'll get a purple. Now the odds to get a pink are 3.2, which means 1 in every 31 cases you might get a pink. Now here's where it starts getting extremely low. So to get a red, there's only a 0.64 chance of pulling one. So that means 1 in every 156 cases you might get a red. Now to get a gold, which is what everyone is chasing, it's only a 0.26% chance, which is 1 in 385. Now I won't lie, I've pulled a knife before, and it was a really good knife, and I was lucky enough to profit. But with these odds, you aren't going to be making your money back. Now for the odds of souvenir packages, these ones are really hard to calculate. So to get a gray skin, you have an 80% chance of getting. To get a light blue, you have a 16% chance. To get a light blue, you have a 16% chance. To get a normal blue, which has an 80% chance in a normal case, in a souvenir case, you have a 3.2% chance. To get a purple, you have a 0.64% chance. To get a pink, you have a 0.128% chance. And to get a red, 0.026%, which from what I've seen from Sparkles, another really amazing Counter-Strike YouTuber, is about 1 in 30,000. So if you're planning on opening up souvenir cases, don't expect to get anything great. And that's the end of the video. If you guys did learn something, comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a mini case opening to what I can afford. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.